Hello and welcome to Guitar Whisperer Headquarters. Now, two interesting things here today. One is on the floor behind me. I have acquired a kitten. A new kitten called Noodles, who is 8 weeks old. Likes to follow me everywhere and cause chaos, and is currently in the workshop squeaking and investigating things on the floor. There she is, look, how adorable. Try my best not to step on her, because that wouldn't be good, would it? Anyway, she's probably going to make an appearance at various points in various videos from now until she's big enough and clever enough to leave me alone. Right, the other thing is this has come in for some work. So first of all, this is from 1973 or something like that. This is the original case, which is cool, isn't it? It would have been Tolex all the way down in its day, but it's now just got Tolex ends. And this bit's been varnished and it's worn back in a very pleasing way. So that's cool in itself. This has made it this far and it still works. And let's have a look inside. So this is what it contains. So a slightly obscure one, I suppose. This is a Hagstrom, specifically a Hagstrom 3. I'm guessing because 3 pickups. Swedish company, made in the early to mid 70s. It's super cool. It doesn't look old, does it? All these people who are attacking their guitars with chisels and sandpaper to make them relics, and this is a genuine 50-year-old guitar, and well, this is what they look like. Discuss. Anyway, it actually works pretty well. The young fellow who owns it plays noisy punk rock music, and he's wanted one of these for ages because Mudhoney, a rather excellent 80s pre-grunge band, used to have one and play one, and yeah, they're super cool. Switches, lots of them, one knob, a tremolo, the arm is somewhere anyway. I've not tested to see if the tremolo works. I'm probably not going to. I'm going to notch the bridge saddle slightly, because being a young punk rocker, he does tend to make the strings pop out of place there. Oop, nearly stepped on a cat. Not sure what that does. The neck is very skinny and has skinny little vintage frets, a brass nut, and one of these string retainers like you would often get on vintage Japanese stuff. And there we go, Hagstrom 3. Tuners work, which is nice, slightly unusual shape to them. Like I say, skinny neck, plays pretty well, to be honest. Not the punchiest sounding guitar in the world though, with these vintage, I guess, in-house single coils. So what we're going to do, and if you're a vintage Hagstrom nerd, you'll probably get cross at this point, but what we're going to do is fit a P90 in the place of this one, which isn't going to take as much hacking about as you might think. There will be a little bit of routing to do underneath the pickguard, and possibly some slight scraping away of the pickguard down the long edges, and then I'm going to make some little filler pieces to make this bit shorter that way, but it should go in fine. He's planning to mostly use the bridge pickup. Can you be quiet, please? Yes, I'm talking. So, yes, some vintage people will go, no, you must leave everything the same, even if it means the guitar isn't very practical. Other people say, go ahead, make it better, you'll play it more. So that's what we're going to do anyway. I've discussed it at length with the owner, and he understands that, you know, ramifications of taking a router to a vintage guitar. I mean, it's worth a bit. It's obviously not the same as a vintage Fender or Gibson or something, but it's cool. It's super cool, and we can make it cooler. And I can feel little claws going into my leg at the moment, so could you stop it, please? Thank you. Right, let's get the strings off and get the scratch plate off and see what we've got. Here's the back of the guitar, by the way. So yeah, interesting little features and things. There is a little cap here, which at a guess I would say it allows access to some sort of adjustment for the trem. I'm not going to touch that. 3-bolt neck plate with a good deal of the chrome worn off, and slot head screws. That's unusual. Neck's in nice and tight though, so that's working. The neck has some good wear on it. Looks like it's been played a healthy amount, which is in contrast to the virtually untouched body, which must be made of incredibly tough lacquer. Well, poly lacquer is always very tough, but you know, it's aged very well. And then at this end, these unusual looking tuners, which all seem to work fine. I've never seen ones exactly like this before, I don't think. And they're unusual shape and very functional. So right, let's get the strings off then, and then do some interior investigations. The owner of this, I had a good chat with him. Nice young fella, and we have the same sort of quirky taste in guitars. I like my old weird Japanese stuff. He likes his quirky 70s gear as well. And we had a good chat, and I told him, like some kind of old geezer, about how I used to lurch around dressed like a goth in the late 80s, dancing, I say dancing, shuffling around to bands like Mudhoney, because I was a very alternative young man. So yeah, this is right up my street, this kind of thing. Looking at the saddles, I think the reason that the strings have been popping out is that this has been set up left-handed at some point, because the wide slots in the saddles are on the treble side and the skinny ones are on the bass side. So that's an easy fix. Never seen a trem quite like this before. Oh, this bit moves around a bit. Yes, let's dig into it, I think, and see what's under the scratch plate. That's loose, so that'll have to be either replaced or repaired. That seems to work okay. Right, let's see what we've got. Also, slot head screws on the pickguard, which you don't see anymore, which means I'll have to be extra super careful with them, because these screws are 50 years old and I wouldn't get any to match, well, aesthetically anyway. All the switches work, I've been told, which is a relief. That's a load of tiny little flathead screws holding them in, and there's 1, 2, 7 slidey switches in total. And you could replace them. You know, a slidey switch isn't like some rare exotic bit of equipment, but again, when you're digging into stuff that was designed 50 years ago, it can get a bit confusing. And I'm confused enough as it is, so a couple more of these to go. Oh, there we go. So this is what we have inside, which isn't quite what I was expecting, but I'm quite pleased it is like this. Massive swimming pool route, as they're called, which is brilliant, because then I don't have to route anything away to make the P90 fit. A pink plectrum, which was under the scratch plate, which says Everlast on it and has a picture of a bat or something. Oh look, here comes the cat. Come and say hello then. This is all lined here with shielding paper. I'm not... Ah, there's like a layer of aluminium, it looks like, on the back of the scratch plate. So it's fairly well shielded. The shielding has even been earthed, which is unusual. Yes, what do you think, Catfish? One full-size pot, which has got some grunge in it. I can't really see what it says. All these little sliding switches, some of which have resistors and things attached to them and capacitors. I guess they're preset tone things. A spare one of... no, don't do that. A spare spring, which should be attached there. So we're missing a screw there, but I'm sure we can dig one out. A piece of cloth tape holding all this down, so it's going to be easier than I thought it would be. I was expecting to have to write out some stuff here, but I'm not going to have to, so that's good. What I think we'll do next is get rid of the kitten and then pop one of these pickups out and see what you need to do with regards to making the P90 fit. Should we do that? Yeah. Pickup removed. Here it is. Couldn't tell you much about it, to be honest, as there's a big plate on the back. And here's the pickup that's probably going in. This is a Bare Knuckle Boot Camp True Grit P90. So we did play with a few guitars when the customer was around here, and he liked the sound of the one I have with these. They're slightly overwound P90s, and I've used them on a bunch of stuff, and I really like them. What I might do though, this is specifically a bridge one. I do have a neck one knocking about somewhere, which might be a slightly better fit in terms of pole piece spacing. The casing itself will be the same size, but the pole pieces will be slightly closer together. But it gives us an idea, if I put it up here, about what we need to do you mind? What we need to do to make it go through the hole in the scratch plate. It's not too bad. A bit wider and a bit longer. As P90 is attached straight into the wood of the body, stop it. These holes don't really matter. But I think I'll make a little template or add some tape to the back of the scratch plate, and then we can start marking out where we need to cut. Go away. Obviously kittens are adorable. Really tiring as well. And this needs to be 35. What I'm doing, I'm keeping this back edge the bit nearest the bridge as is, and then I'm extending the hole that way. I've found on my custom stuff, by playing with pickup position, that a P90 can sometimes get a little bit on the thin side. Well, not thin, less growly when they're jammed in really close to the bridge. So by moving it just a few mil, you can actually make pretty good improvement in the tone. So if anybody does understand a cat, please do stick a comment underneath telling me what this one is talking about. She's very chatty, but my knowledge of cat is limited. There we go, that's better. There. Okay, you can't see it from up there, but I've done a few lines to show where the edges go, and then we've got the rounded bits, the rounded corners as well. So draw those into. Now, we've got something on there now, so we know where to cut. I think I'm going to drill out the corners first, and then attack the rest with either a jeweler's saw or something like that, or maybe the Dremel. What do you think? It shouldn't take too long. Helping? Yeah. Just in case anybody's worried, I've checked to see if the material coming off here is magnetic or not, because if it was, I would have taken all the pickups out to stop any bits of magnetic stuff getting stuck to them, but it's not. This bowl's magnetic and it's not sticking to it. So that's the first chunk out. Let's get on with this little bit here now. It's in, only roughly cut at the moment, but the hole is just about the right size, as you can see by the way the pickup cover fits. So next up is I have a quick snack, dumplings, just in case you were wondering, and then we'll tidy up the edges of the hole. Noodles has gone for a nap somewhere, which I'm quite pleased about. Because I can get some more work done. Bless her. Hello. What have you done with the pickup cover? Where have you put the pickup cover? Ow! Get off! 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 Ah! Ha, 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 ha. Ow! 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 Get off! Get off, you little nutter! That definitely wasn't helping. Rightio. Ready to solder it back up then. I stuck some new leads on the socket, which were a bit longer and a bit more substantial. Cleaned out the pot. There's only one pot, so that didn't take long. Yeah, tightened all this up. Gonna attach this now to the scratch plate and attach the new pickup as well. We'll have to cut this lead down quite a bit. But yes, let's get it all soldered up. Everything is wired up now. There we go. Pickups in, wired up. Noodles are still shouting, so ignore that. We'll just test the pickups quick. Oh. That's the two old ones. Excellent. The new ones work too. The new one. Right, we'll get some strings on it. I just measured up the old ones with the mic and they are 10s. We thought they might have been 9s, but they turned out to be 10s. The funky little bridge is going to go on the right way, like that, and then we can do a bit of a setup on it. Lots of cleaning's been done as well. Fingerboard's much cleaner. And yeah, the frets aren't all that worn, which is interesting. They look like some kind of brassy stuff like you sometimes get on Warwicks. There's not a mad amount of wear on them, so that's good. But we'll get it strung up first, and then we'll have a look and see where we are. Strung up with, no, not 9s, 10s then. The Dario 10s. These will take a while to bed in, obviously. especially as there's a tremolo. I don't know if it's locked off or not. It might be locked off in the way that Jazzmaster trims do, but I'm not going to poke about with any of these controls, just in case I do something silly. String spacing wise, it's all slightly over to this side of the neck, so as I can adjust the string spacing on these, I might do that in a bit. Get it all straightened out. I'll start off with the centre two and get them lined up with the central markers, assuming that they're straight, and then work out from there. But nice and loud acoustically. We'll check the relative volumes of the pickups in a bit as well. As for setup, the nut is spot on. So that's good. I just noticed it's got really cool little side markers which are in the form of thin white rectangles. That's cool. So first fret is okay. Truss rod is okay. Maybe give it a little bit more relief, as we're not, I say the frets haven't been levelled or anything, so I might introduce a little bit more relief there. Action at the 12th is on 40, which is as low as you can go really. I'll probably raise that slightly. I could quite possibly have nudged these adjusting screws during the rewiring process, but so this is a little bit low. Still plays right there. Actually, it plays very well. So I'm assuming it's had a setup at some point in its history. But yes, let's check these pickup volumes. I'm suspecting the P90 is going to be way louder, but we can do a little bit of adjustment with raising the other two up and down. But we'll see what it's like first. Obviously horribly out of tune, but the relative volumes seem to be okay with the way I've set it. I've set them nominally for 3mm on this side and 2mm on that side, but it's always best to just listen to it afterwards. But they sound alright. I mean, this is only the workshop amp, so we'll check it downstairs on the posh amp in a bit, but it seems okay so far. That's... possibly do with a bit of the oxide, but little bit of intonation needs looking at. I still can't work out these controls, hang on. Yeah, that Bridge P90, as expected, has a nice kind of barky snarl to it, which is exactly what you wanted, so that's good. We'll quickly check the string spacing and the intonation, but that's pretty much there then. Yeah, there's quite a bit of deoxit in there as well. Yeah, this is going to sound awesome through some gain. Quite looking forward to trying it out downstairs. And there you go. Done. P90 in and wired up. I had to enlarge the hole in the scratch plate. Tightened up a few bits and pieces. Pretty good nick, to be honest, as it's 50 years old. Put the bridge on the right way round and adjusted the intonation and the action. First fret is fine, truss fret is okay, and yeah, good to go. It's gonna sound wicked, this thing. It already looks super cool. I think it looks even cooler without a P90 in there, and it's gonna sound, yeah, crunchy and rock and roll. Give the owner a ring though, I think, and let him know his guitar is ready just before Christmas. I'm sure he'll be very pleased. Right, thanks for watching. See you for the next one. Ta-da.